Hello and welcome to this webinar on the MA programme in Communication Policy. My name is Jacob Johanssen and I'm a Senior Lecturer in the Communication and Media Research Institute at the University of Westminster, and I'm the Acting Course Leader for the MA Communication Policy, and I'm currently covering for Dr. Maria Michalis, who is the Permanent Course Leader while she's away on research leave doing a research project. So depending on when you join us, if you join us this September, I'll be your course leader, and if you join us a little later, you might have Maria Michalis as a course leader. So just to tell you a little bit about what this webinar is going to be about, what its structure is going to be today, I'll mainly talk about sort of three aspects. I'll begin by talking about the course structure and the university a little bit more generally. So, what is the course? What are its strengths? How is it structured? What are the different elements that you will encounter and that you will engage with when you join the course? Then I'll talk a little bit about the different modules that we offer and the different sort of perspectives that you can get, and also the teaching team. So who the colleagues are that you might meet, that you will engage with when you join the course and that you will learn from. And I'll also talk about the students on the course. So what do we look for in students who join the course, who the sort of typical students are that have joined the course in the past, and sort of what their backgrounds are, and I'll also say something about where they work afterwards when they graduated. So before I get to the specifics of the course and the University of Westminster, I'd just like to start by saying a little bit about where we are located. As you know, the course is based in London, and London is really a global hub for the media and the creative industries, and in particularly for everything related to communication policy, regulation, and those sort of questions. Also with regards to the NGO sector, as you know, there are many NGOs also in London that you can make use of in your sort of professional development when you're here studying for the MA. And London is, of course, a very exciting place to be for a year. It's a very diverse city with a very rich cultural environment, but also an academic environment that here at the University of Westminster and in other places that you can make use of and attend events and talks and so on. I'll start by saying a little bit about the University of Westminster and the faculty here where the course is based at. So the University of Westminster was the first university in the UK to set up a course, a BA, in Media Studies in 1975. And it's been really at the forefront of teaching media-related courses ever since, and is really internationally and nationally known for having that groundbreaking expertise in the media, and in particularly also in relation to policy and regulation issues. The Communication and Media Research Institute, or as it's known also CAMRI for short, is where the course is based at, and the CAMRI is really well known for its world-leading research. Its research has been recognised across the world and has been ranked as among the top 5 in the country for a number of years. So by joining us, you can really access that kind of emerging academic thought that is taught by many different colleagues who you'll meet. And they all have a set of expertise that you can engage with. It's safe to say that we have a really distinct research culture here at CAMRI, which is about critical researching and exploring the media with regards to power structures and many other issues across the world. We have many events and conferences that we put on throughout the year that are free for students to attend, and students always tell me that they find this very useful for example, reasons of networking, meeting others, meeting other academics and professionals as well. We also have a seminar series, the CAMRI seminars, which happen every 2 weeks throughout the year, that feature internationally very well-known guest speakers who are presenting state-of-the-art research. And here you can see some of the guest speakers we have hosted in the last few months, and some of the topics that have been explored include big data and parenting, the mediatization of development in Latin America, or journalism and emotion. Right. Here you can see a picture of Harrow Campus, where most of your teaching will take place if you join us in September. Harrow Campus is only a short tube ride away from central London, and it's really a state-of-the-art media campus that not only features the sort of academic environment that makes learning a really successful experience for you. For example, we have a brand new library that's been refurbished last year and that students have really valued, and the sort of new structures that have been put in place. But there are also more practice-based facilities here that you can make use of if you wish. For example, booking a course on how to use video editing software or Adobe Photoshop, for example. So to talk a little bit more specifically about the MA in Communication Policy, the MA is an internationally recognized course that is about critically questioning and analyzing contemporary global media and communication with a particular focus on policy and regulation issues. The course is designed to give you the skills in order to really critically analyze issues around policy and regulation in the media, information or telecommunications sectors. And this may include links between policy and policy making, or political and economic or social developments affecting markets, companies, technologies, organizations or institutions. And the course really ensures that you receive a relevant, well-grounded skill base, enabling you to have a wide, clear, comprehensive understanding of communication policies and policy making today. And it's really designed for both for those students who already work in the media or in NGOs or in policy agencies, or those of you who would like to pursue such a career after the MA following graduation. And some of the questions that we might discuss when you join us in September include, how is communication policy changing across the world? How are transnational bodies such as the EU or the WTO responding to policy and regulation challenges? Or, for example, how do we regulate the internet? So you can see very pressing, very topical questions that we will explore. To say a little bit more about the kind of structure of the course itself, so you are taught mainly through what is called modules in the UK academic context. So you can think of modules as consisting of lectures and seminars. So you will attend a module throughout a semester, and each session begins with a lecture by a member of staff who will introduce a particular topic to you and sort of give you a very detailed introduction to it. And then it's followed by a seminar where things get more interactive, where you can ask questions about the lecture, where you can discuss particular aspects, debate things with your peers, do a little group exercise, and so on. And the seminars are very interactive and the students really value them as a space to explore things that they're interested in more detail. The MA is either offered full-time or part-time, so you can either study it full-time or part-time. That means that full-time students complete the MA in 1 year and part-time students in 2 years. And over this 1 year, or 2 years if you're a part-time student, you take the equivalent of 6 modules. Each is worth 20 credits, and you also complete a 60 credit module, which is called the dissertation module, which runs across the year. And this module is about conducting your own piece of research, your own kind of research project, which you then write about in the dissertation and which is submitted at the end of August before you graduate. And we really offer a lot of guidance, a lot of advice and help with conducting that kind of little piece of research, and I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. So each course, each MA program has optional and core modules. And for this MA in Communication Policy, there are 3 core modules that everyone is required to take. And in semester 1, which runs from late September to just before Christmas, you take the core module, which is called Political Analysis of Communication Policy, which is run by Maria Michalis, and I also teach on it, and I do the seminars. I lead the seminars on the module. And here you can see a range of topics that are covered in the module. So you can see that it really kind of covers policy and regulation issues from a wide range of different perspectives, and it not only draws on media and communication literature, but also on sociology and politics, for example. And the module is really designed to give everyone an introduction to what it means to think about policy, regulation issues from a critical perspective today. And I'll just leave that on for a moment so you can have a look at the different topics that are covered. And this module, you can see, it will kind of really introduce you to theories of policy making and international relations, which provide the tools to analyze policies, policy making, and how they are sort of changing on a national and international level. So, as I said, for each MA program, there's a set of optional and core modules. So you can see a list of them here on this slide. In semester 1, you would take the the political analysis of communication policy module, and then you have a range of other modules that you can choose from. The only other module that you're required to take is the dissertation module, where I who runs the module, give you a very detailed introduction to what it means to write a dissertation, to do your own little research project. So we kind of think about what is the research topic, how do you find a topic, what is a research question, how do you come up with a research question, how do you find literature, and so on. And there's also a great element of peer learning in the module insofar as your fellow students give you feedback on your ideas, and there's a lot of discussion always taking place. Other modules that we offer in semester 1 are module Global Media, which is run by Professor Daya Tusu, which is all about global media flows, things like imperialism and how global media channels are changing. We also have the Political Economy of Communication module run by Christian Fuchs, which is about looking at the economic aspects of the media and the internet in particular from a critical perspective, and thinking about things like media ownership or surveillance, or those sort of questions with regards to economics as well. There's also the theories of communication module that you can take that I teach together with my colleague Heidi Herzogenrath-Amelung, which is about an introduction to communication theory and theories of communication and how they might relate to contemporary media issues. Semester 1 just runs before Christmas, and then there is a Christmas break and we come back in semester 2. In semester 2 you have another core module which is called Approaches to Media and Communication Research, and I teach it together with my colleague Dr. Xin, and that module is really about giving you a very practical hands-on introduction to researching any media topic. So what it means to use a particular research method, such as interviews, for example, or content analysis of a television program. How you can choose a good method to collect data. And the module always, again, has a lecture, and then it's in the seminars, we have structured them in a very interactive way where you can use and try out a particular method in small groups, and we give you advice and guidance. Other modules that we offer are media activism and politics, media audiences, Chinese media. We have a module on development and communication policy. We also have another module on policies for digital convergence. So you can see across the year there are 3 specialized modules that are about communication policy. Political analysis of communication policy in semester 1, development and communication policy in semester 2, and policies for digital convergence in semester 2 as well, which is all about looking at how new and emerging digital media impact policy making. We also, in semester 1, offer a non-assessed module which is called study skills. So all the other modules are assessed, where you will write an essay or sometimes 2 shorter essays that are about you critically engaging with a particular topic of a module. And we offer you a lot of guidance and individual tutorials in helping you to write a very good essay. And the study skills module works as a support, as an additional form of support, because it's a non-assessed module, so there is no assessment, and it's very popular with students for who English might not be the first language, and it's all about kind of introducing you to UK academic conventions. So how do you find literature, for example, that you can use in an essay? How do you structure an essay? And how do you kind of successfully answer an essay question? So this module is very popular with international students, and it always runs in semester 1. Here you just have another slide with a course diagram where you can just see another breakdown of the modules. You can see the dissertation module at the top, which runs across the year, and then you can see the different core modules and then the list of optional modules there as well. In semester 2 you can also choose another module out of the 6. So if there is a module that is not offered in the faculty and you would like to take a module outside of the Media Art and Design faculty, you can also do that as well as an optional module. The course team. So who are you taught by when you join the course? Here you can see a number of colleagues who are from the Communication and Media Research Institute. I'm actually not in the photo, but my colleagues here have a wide range of expertise between them that range from social media, critical political economy, communication policy and media regulation, campaigning, media and diversity, media activism and politics, or development issues, media in Africa, for example. So all these colleagues have published and are engaged in world-leading research, and you can really make use of their expertise when you join the University of Westminster and the MA in Communication Policy. And here you can see a list of books that you might read a chapter or two from when you take the different modules. So for each module you always have a reading list where you might be required to read a chapter for a particular week, and many of the books that we feature on the reading list are actually written by CAMRI colleagues at the University of Westminster. So you can meet the authors of books, and here we have books by Christian Fuchs, David Gauntlet, Hugo de Burgh, Daya Tusu, Graham Meikle, Winston Mano, or Maria Michaelis, who have written, as you can see here, on a wide range of topics on the media today. Okay, I say also a little bit about the students on the course and who we're sort of looking for and who the MA is for. We're really looking for students who are interested in debates that concern global media and how the world, and specifically policy and regulation, is changing as a result of new technologies. If you're engaged in debates that occur within sort of media that are about changing media structures, changing geopolitical structures, changing policy environments, this MA is really for you. And you might be interested in the sort of students who typically join the course, and where they're from and what their backgrounds are. And we have a very diverse student body. In fact, the University of Westminster is the most diverse university in the UK in terms of different cultural and ethnic backgrounds. And we have students from the UK and from Europe, and also many international students from, for example, Southeast Asia and China, from Vietnam or Japan, from the Middle East or Africa as well. And this sort of very diverse group is really something that students really value, and they say this to me again and again, because it kind of contributes to great atmosphere in the seminars, and you can really learn from your peers and from different cultural backgrounds, different perspectives on things. And the seminars are always a very dynamic space for discussion. And I actually have some student testimonial here. So this is a quote from a student who was on the course last year, and this is what she had to say about her experience on the course, and I'll just let you read that for just a few minutes. Also, I am going to say a little bit about employability and where students typically work after they've graduated from the MA in Communication Policy. Generally, students work across the media and creative industries, both locally and globally, and we have, the MA is very well established nationally and internationally with employers, and for that reason, students are very successful in finding employment shortly after they've graduated. And they've worked in the media industries, but also in the sort of broader private sector, and also in NGOs, international organizations, policy-making institutes, advisory groups, and government agencies and regulatory agencies, and so on. And some students also continue to stay with us and decide to study for a PhD afterwards because they want to continue the academic work. And more specifically with regards to media companies, students have found work at CCTV, at Xinhua News Agency, at the BBC World Service, at KBS in South Korea, or in various policy and regulation institutions as well. Before I finish and we have some time for questions, here's just a list of some useful information which I cannot really cover in the webinar today, and the The links here all refer to the University of Westminster website, and you can also just search for these keywords on the website itself in the search box. So we offer accommodation both at Harrow Campus in halls here or in central London. You can find all about it on the website as well. And the same goes for scholarships, if you would like to apply for a scholarship. And we also have a career development centre which offers advice and guidance on planning your career following your graduation. For example, help with CV writing, writing a cover letter, preparing for a job interview, and so on. And we also have a team which are able to help you with securing an internship or work placements in London as well. We also have a course page for the MA Communication Policy, it should say here. So again, if you go on the website and Google and search for MA Communication Policy, you will find the course page, which has all the information on it and also a summary of all the different modules that I talked about today. And here's my email address on the slide. So if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to email me, and I'm very happy to answer them. And if you have more specific questions about admissions and deadlines and dates and so on, you can contact Neela Gandhi, who is the admissions officer for this program as well.
So before we go into the break before the questions, we just wanted to mention about the postgraduate loan. So for UK and EU students for this academic year, a postgraduate loan is available. So for those even in the EU who are looking to start in this year, they can apply for this. All you have to do is go to the gov.uk website for more information. For some general details, you get paid in thirds over each semester in the academic year. So this might vary. This might be different to how you would have received your student loan, which would have gone straight to the university, but this is paid directly to you. Also, it's not means tested, so you can apply for it even if you are earning a certain amount, earning high amounts, but you only pay after you meet the threshold after April 2019. So again, just go to the gov.uk website. You can see the link at the bottom there, but the gov.uk website will have more information. So a few questions in. So the first one is, if you're studying, what's the difference between studying full-time and part-time in terms of days studied, depending on which modules you choose?
Mm-hmm. So in terms of the sort of days that you go in, if you're a part-time student, you take you would take less modules in the both semester 1 and semester 2. If you're a full-time student, you have 3 modules in semester 1, and then you have 2 taught modules in semester 1, and the other is the dissertation module that runs along. So for the part-time students, you will have 1 module less, if that makes sense, in the first year, and those are then taken by you in the second year, and you can choose which one. Apart from the core modules which you're required to take in semester 1 or semester 2. In terms of the different days that you are on campus, that you're required to be on campus, we always have a number of modules on a Tuesday. So if you, for example, decide to choose the global media module, it always runs on a Tuesday morning, and the theories of communication module runs on a Tuesday afternoon, and the political economy of communication module runs on a Tuesday evening. And then we have your core module on the political analysis of communication policy is always on a Wednesday afternoon in semester 1 as well. And the dissertation module is in semester 1 on Fridays. It's not on every week, it sort of alternates in a bi-weekly rhythm. And in semester 2, you will have modules again mostly on Tuesdays, and I believe there are some on Wednesdays as well.
Okay, and we'll make this the last question, but what do you require from applicants in order to apply? So, would they have to have studied a very relevant BA, or what kind of relevant work experience would they have needed?
So we sort of, more generally, we sort of get a mix of students who, some of them have just completed their BA. Often the BA is a media related course, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. We do get some students who also have done another degree, for example, in sociology or that sort of thing, but then they might have very relevant other experience, or they can sort of provide why they would like to now focus on policy in their personal statement, which you write with the application. We also get some students who have worked in the media or creative industries for a number of years, and then they join us to do a master's. So it's really kind of a mix of students that we get.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the questions. So thank you for everyone who attended and asked questions, and thank you very much, Jacob, for presenting for us.
Thank you.